Welcome back, guys, to probably one of the greatest games of all time, apart from Just Cause 2. That game is Metal Gear Solid 3. Right. A couple of days ago, I already did about an hour and a half recording of it, and it just went bleh. I thought I'd check it, and it's just like bleh. No. So I'm going to do it again. Oh, what fun is that? More cutscenes galore. New game. I like MGS3. Normal. And now for more talking. And the opening. Maybe. No, not the opening.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
That legendary quote from Snake. Helicopter sounds. That's too loud. There we go. Flashy, flashy lights. David Hayter. Those people. American flag on the side of the ship. Ship, plane. Shut up. "5:30 AM, August 24th, 1964. Pakistan airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility. Put out that cigar.
Knowing me,
Oxygen hose to interior connector.
the recording I did a couple of days ago, it will probably go exactly the same way because I'm just like blur, blur. Yeah, that's like what you're surfing now. Blur. Put on that mask.
What he's doing?
Panty waist. Did you call it a panty waist? I am Snake. Yeah.
10 minutes to drop off. Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Cigar's manly.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
Oh
6
yeah.
minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Still reminds me of the opening of Mercenaries. When they drop you out in the car, which is awesome. Best way to start a game. Drop you out of a plane from a car. Oh, that music. Fucking love Harry Gregson Williams.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
The controller's vibrating.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
Oh
1
man,
minute to
I
drop
won't.
off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
High altitude, low opening.
10 seconds to drop off.
I remember that
Stand by.
from somewhere.
Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with
God be with you. Meow. This game has like a million fucking cutscenes. A million. The last boss, probably, I don't know, 10 minutes of cutscene, of backstory, which is brilliant.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Haha, that's awesome.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
Don't
does.
get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
Sokolov.
He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapons
Sokolov.
research facilities, and the East's foremost
Reznov!
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very
same.
On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
Yep.
The Earth was
That they
blue,
did.
but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1.
Oh man, a
known as
pillow
the
for my
Vostok
back.
rocket.
Ow.
Sokolov is said to be the man
we
most
go.
responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket.
I've played a lot of
Gagarin's
Kerbal Space
flight,
Program.
Sokolov left
A
rocket
lot.
development
And
the
I've
head of
burst
the
many
newly
blood
established
vessels
design
in fury.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
That always seems to happen.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
The creators were always
And for
rebel
that, he
against
left
the
his country
creators.
and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba.
Did all that in
But
history.
the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles
October
from Cuba.
28th.
And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
October 26th.
But in order to get the Soviets to
2077.
pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where
Fallout.
the US agreed to remove its
That's what will happen
IRBMs
after
from
that if they
Turkey?
ever explode.
No. The
They'll be like,
Jupiter IRBMs
"Bah,"
deployed in
and we'll
Turkey
hide
were
somewhere.
obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had
see.
no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians.
These cutscenes are so long, I don't
Turkey
know
was a
what to
ruse,
say.
A cover story that was fed to the other
Maybe I
intelligence
should shut up
agencies around
and
the
let
world.
you listen.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital and handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yask, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Awesome. I just took my mic off for a bit. Probably do that throughout several of the cutscenes and whatnot. Free falling. Man, I should record Just Cause 2. Such a good game.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate.
Oh yeah, the RB interactive cutscenes.
Back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking. Boom.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
That's in Peace Walker.
It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm
Vulcan Raven.
Sounds like she
The
called
first
her
Metal
own
Gear.
against a battalion of
Metal Gear
tanks.
Solid.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
I always say that.
But
Now
if
Sean will know where I
anything
get it
goes
from.
wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and
I'm like,
all the rest
home
of your
in time
meals
for
in the
dinner.
jungle.
Dun dun dun. Oh no, trees, they're bad for parachutes. Oh shit, I lost my bag. Huh. Ninja. Oh yeah. That hair flick. So badass. Hooray for codec calls.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in.
Oh no, that's a
From
bad
here on out,
idea.
We're using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you
Naked.
as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Jack.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Well, you've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful.
Snake's name is Jack, and
What about
Raiden's
you,
name is
Major?
Jack. What's
What
with
should I
Jack?
call you?
Bloody
Let's
hell.
see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
And The Great Escape.
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy.
I remember the
leave
Great
no
Escape
trace of your
game
presence.
in the Prisoner
Is
of
that
War
clear?
game. That's pretty good.
This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find
Isn't it?
some
I think
medical
there's an
supplies in your
achievement for
back.
you only using the tranquilizer gun throughout the whole game,
about
like
the
not killing
backpack.
anyone.
I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio.
Ugh.
We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My
I
frequency
want a
is
gunship.
140.85.
Why can't I have just a gunship?
I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the
Use the send function.
Okay,
Send is
Snake,
back.
Go get your backpack.
It's funny because throughout different parts of the game, if you call the people on your codex, you get interesting conversations, which is very nice.
Snake, first you need to find that backpack you lost on the way down. Your backpack got caught on a tree to the north. Try heading in that
See,
direction.
then I give you helpful information. It's very nice. Oh man, that camera view. This was the old one. This is what I used to play as when I was playing it on the PlayStation 2. But man, oh, that camera. Oh, bit forward so I can see. There we go. You can do all sorts of stuff. You got food, calorie may. I always forget which button it is. It's A, isn't it? Y? Yeah. There we go. The red cool buttons you have to take. They're like
I see you've retrieved
story
your backpack,
stuff.
Snake.
But I think it's either the
To
white or the
equip a
blue
weapon,
ones.
It's necessary to take it
I'm
out
not
of your
sure
backpack.
what colour they are.
In the survival viewer,
But you can-
choose
they're
weapons
optional.
from the backpack.
That's good.
Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the enter button. For other
Well, I have
equipped
a control that,
items,
haven't I?
just do the
Okay.
same thing from item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right.
Survival
is
viewer.
fundamental to this mission. After
Of course
you've been
it
out in
is.
the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance.
Yeah, you got to keep
You won't be
eating.
able to shoot accurately,
It
for
goes
example,
down
and
fast
your
on
wounds won't heal as
higher
smoothly.
difficulties.
Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My
You can also
only weapon
save,
is Mark 22 Hush Puppy
Leave the game,
tranquilizer
come back,
gun.
it'll be all fine, which
That's
is
right.
nice.
It's been fitted with its own suppressor.
Pretty sweet idea.
However, the suppressor will
More
deteriorate
games should be
every
like
time
this.
you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to
Yep.
find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Mine.
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence
Well,
in enemy territory is already a
footprints and
violation of
sweat and bodily
international
waste are out of the
conventions
question.
warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. There'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
Kill yourself.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was
When
a solo mission,
I first used
Right.
the fake death
I
pill,
guess
I
that
didn't
means
even
I
know
can't
how
count
to
on
use
any
it. I was just like,
reinforcements.
damn it!
Correct.
It's just a death
Mission
pill. What I think
rests
it's meant to be.
entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
I've completed this game, I don't
There's
know,
a support
hundreds of
team ready
times.
to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a
How long
medic,
has this
so to
gone
speak,
on for now?
as well as
5
recording your
minutes?
mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the
Not
gunship with
going to skip
She?
any.
Hello, Sam. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As a
If I,
medic who
if,
comes in
if
by
I wasn't recording this,
parachute.
I'd probably just skip it
Aren't
because
you
I
gonna
know it
tell me your
already.
real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
Mr.
My
Snake.
name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name
Finding
means nothing
Nemo.
on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission
145.73.
data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
And lets you
That's right.
recover
It
stamina.
also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
The boss.
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
The boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
5
That's
years.
Right. It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's
Oh, the
good
feels,
might be
man.
tomorrow's
The feels.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time.
Bloody hell, all
And so
this
do the
philosophy
leaders of the
talk.
country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything.
That's just sad.
Even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating.
Oh, cheers.
But this is the jungle.
Cheers, mate.
Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is
long way away.
141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Yes, I need your advice on battle techniques.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and
sentries.
don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Try and remember some of the basics of CQC.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Oh, yeah.